So we got Khris right here. Your name's Khris, right?
Yeah,
That's what's up. And where you from, Khris?
here in Atlanta, born and raised.
You born and raised in Atlanta. That's what's up. What part? South side?
Pretty much northeast, northwest, and here in Midtown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where did you go to school like most of the time? Like,
Well, Central Gwinnett was the high school I went to up in Gwinnett County.
okay.
Yeah.
So is that like what, Lawrenceville?
Yeah,
Gwinnett?
exactly, Lawrenceville.
Oh,
Yeah,
Lawrenceville.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we got Lawrenceville in the house, representing North Side.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's what's up. That's what's up. So how was it coming up there, man? What was your family like? Did you have mom, dad, siblings?
Yeah, I had a brother and my mom, my dad. They, pretty much helped raise us all the way up until high school. Parents got divorced. It happens.
Okay. So it was you and your brother.
For a while, yeah.
Okay, so what was that like? What you and your brother coming up as siblings? Like how far y'all were apart in age?
About 3 years.
3 years?
But we're complete opposite sides of the coin.
Okay.
You know?
But so in high school you were like a senior, he was like a freshman?
Yeah.
Okay, so he was always right behind you, huh?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that. So what were some of your early memories of like, you moving around and your brother following you everywhere around? Was you kind of upset at times?
No, it never bothered me. I was fine with it. He is the one who kind of went off in a different direction.
Oh.
And he used to follow me like, inspiring. Like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, I like what my big brother is doing. But then he found some other crew and went that path.
That was like your little friend. He's like, come on, man.
Yeah, all up until we're about, I think he was about 12 or 13. Then he bolted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So did y'all play any sports or anything? What was y'all kind of like y'all hobbies?
I played
Video
baseball
games?
and soccer. I did video games. Yeah, I played D&D and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay, so you came up, was this like what, the 80s, the 90s?
Oh,
when
yeah.
was this?
Yeah, I was late 80s, 90s.
Oh, okay, so you came up with Mario.
Oh yeah,
the Nintendos.
I had to mow lawns and watch dogs to be able to get the first Nintendo and
Oh,
get Mario.
okay. So what was your favorite game back then that you remember?
Oh, it had to have been Duck Hunt.
Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you remember on the Nintendo they had the little running pad, the little relay race?
Oh yeah.
Where you had to run on there and you had to jump.
Yep.
And then you had Mike Tyson and all that.
Yeah, Mike Tyson's Punch Out was great. The little robot that you had to sit there, had the little gyroscope thing on.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what's up.
Yeah, those were old school. The Power Glove.
Right. And then the Super Nintendo came out.
Oh yeah.
So
Just
you
kept getting better and better and better.
So you had all the games.
Oh, pretty much. I played through every system from the original like Atari all the way up.
When was like are you still into gaming?
A little bit, a lot less. So obviously, I work and do other things now.
Right.
But
So coming up, what would you say your last memory of the games that you had? Like, what was your last memory? Was it PlayStation 1? Where you kind of like, all right, or was it before that?
We went a little beyond. We went into like PS2s and stuff. I mean, the last games I was playing on like regular basis, of course, were like the Street Fighters, Killer Instincts, Mortal Kombat.
Right.
Yeah,
okay. So by the time the digital came around, the CDs, you were adult now. You were trying to live life. And
we were already really good too. Our hand-eye coordination blew away most kids.
Right. So, and you said you played sports coming up. You played baseball. Was that your favorite one?
Yeah, I loved playing baseball. Yeah.
Okay. So by this time, you started playing baseball. When did you do high school ball?
I did high school for a while. Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't really stick through it though.
Yeah. So the teams didn't wasn't no state championships or nothing like that?
No.
Oh man.
It was fun, but it was just for the fun of playing a sport,
Okay.
Yeah.
Central Gwinnett, y'all wasn't winning anything. What was the other school that was tearing y'all up? Shout them out.
Oh God.
Shout the other school that kept winning on y'all. What was y'all rival?
I think it was Brookwood.
Brookwood up there in Brookhaven?
Yeah. No, Brookwood is another Gwinnett County school.
Oh,
they
okay.
were like really good.
It was right by y'all.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh man.
They were definitely more of a rival.
Okay, so what happened? You said, take me back to the sibling where you kind of realized you and your brother kind of had different personalities.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's life.
It happens. Yeah.
You say that was about middle school, high school.
Right before high school.
So you went to high school,
Yeah.
and that kind of like veered y'all off a little bit. You were like, look.
I was in a new school, new friends. He was still in middle school. He had other different friends. And
right.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what it was just kind of a natural thing.
Yeah.
Kind of like we got our own cliques and stuff like that.
For the most part, yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. So coming up, you said your parents got a divorce. When did that happen? Were you still in school?
Around 15.
15.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, that was
Take me to the mindset through that. Can you share the mindset you
I didn't
went
want
through?
to deal with them, so I moved out when I was 15. Got a room with a handful of friends. We got a 1-bedroom. We were all sleeping on different places of the apartment.
Right.
You know? One of my friends actually slept in the kitchen.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But, we had a place, and I just continued going to school and working, and we managed to make it work.
It was really that kind of heavy on you. It was kind of like
you
in the
just had
house.
to grow up quick. That's all, it happens.
Because I'm saying that because a lot of people, we come from maybe like one parent households, and we hear about that, how divorce takes a toll on the kids.
Oh yeah.
But as can you kind of divulge the people that never went through it? It's kind of like a real big change, huh?
It is, yeah. You feel like you don't know any of your family at that point because they're all at each other's throats, and you don't really know exactly the full details of what's going on.
Right.
So you get confused. You don't. And for me, I was like, well, I don't want to have to deal with this. I have a way out. I just have to work hard for it.
Okay. Did you ever try to talk to each of your parents or either
from
side?
time to time, but it didn't seem to have any kind of like help.
You try to mend things.
Yeah.
Looking back on it, it was like adulting, right?
Yeah.
Now that you're an adult, you look back on it, it was like that was some adult shit that
exactly.
nothing I could have said.
Nothing could have said or done would have changed it, fixed it.
Right.
At least I knew it wasn't my fault.
Right. So going through the years after that, could you kind of see that they kind of found their lane and things kind of just moved on?
Yeah, exactly. Things just continued like normal. After a certain amount of time, they were apart.
Right.
I never really lost contact with them. I just lessened the contact with them.
So this was like the late 90s, early 2000s?
Yeah, it was late 90s.
So I know you're like the first generation millennial. I'm like
actually late X. I'm like one of the last Gen Xers. I was born in 77.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, right before the millennial.
50. Yeah.
But you came up in that era where it was like Scream, like the Backstreet Boys. That was like the last. I'm 10 years younger. I'm born in 91.
Oh, okay.
But I used to watch like my uncles and the older people.
Yeah.
It was like that was like a gray area of like just the best, man.
Oh yeah.
To be a teenager
MTV
during
was
that,
actually playing music videos.
To be a teenager during that time and looking at it. It's funny that you said you went out and got an apartment with your friends at 15.
Yeah.
Because when you look at it, that was kind of like the last generation where it was like, when y'all got grown, it was like y'all was grown. Even if y'all was teenagers.
Yeah, we were still
y'all kind of,
we knew what we needed to do to make things happen.
Yeah, y'all kind of like, that was kind of like that last generation where it kind of wasn't no internet. It's like, you got to make something shake.
We were just getting it.
Yeah, it's like you make something shake now because there's nothing else going on. It's nothing else going on for you but to start your life.
Yeah.
And get it moving.
Yeah, you got
it. So that's kind of like how that feel was. So kind of take me to that time. Like, how was that? Going out at 15. Were you nervous? Were you kind of scared, or you had your friend group?
Actually, I was just like, it's either gonna work or it doesn't. I'm gonna give it a shot. I didn't really think too much of it. I was more like, I think I can make it work. I was working at a Waffle House, and my other friend was working there with me. We also kind of part-time worked at a movie theater.
Right.
My other friends had some other jobs that they were doing, so we were pulling in enough money to have the apartment and stuff. Although it was kind of like, we're all living on top of one another.
Right. That was like the wing it generation. It's like, listen, let's get from under our parents and start living, on our own and stuff like that.
Especially when it was like you don't want to be around that mess that they're having. You're like, I'm gonna go and make my own mess and have it fun.
Right.
Yeah.
I kind of get that. And so y'all were working and doing things like that. Take me to the bachelor life. Like, what was y'all doing around that time? Like,
we were going to all the concerts, clubs, going to raves.
Right. Okay. Right. Because this was Atlanta.
This was Atlanta. We had raves every weekend.
Woo!
It was like nonstop.
A lot of cocaine.
Yeah, a lot of coke, a lot of weed. Yeah, Molly everywhere. You know, acid. It was
I didn't even know it was back then. They had that.
Well, I think Molly had a different name back then, but we did have a lot of acid and other things. So yeah, it was.
Man, I was living that good teenage life.
Yeah.
Man, that's when Family Matters was still on.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
I mean, hell, down here, you walk around, it was a lot of, pimps and their hoes. You had a lot of dealers around, but everybody was cool. You know, if you weren't messing with them, they weren't messing with you.
The city was more alive.
Yeah. You could basically get anything you wanted real quick and easy.
Right.
You just had to be cool about it, and ain't no problem.
So tell me about that time. Any concerts? Did you have any backstage, or did you meet anybody, or any things like that?
We went a lot to the Masquerade International Ballroom. We saw so many 90s bands, like everything from like Guar to Pantera to Marilyn Manson, Korn, Nirvana, like just tons of stuff. Cypress Hill, that was a great show. Stuff like that. It was fun.
It was a good time.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
We had a handful of small venues where a lot of local bands came together, practice venues, and they'd come together and put shows on as well. So we had a lot of local punk bands and little rappers, and everybody trying to get their own feet off the ground too. Yeah.
Did you experiment in any of that, or like any?
No, I'm not really musical, but I did enjoy music. So I was like, I'm going to the shows. It's fun. Yeah.
So you and your crew was just bouncing around.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So take me back. So, and during that time, I'm building up into your life, man. You would live in the bachelor life a little bit. So, did you get a girl, or things like
I
that?
ended up with a girl that me and her moved out to Florida, where I ended up getting a job with the cable company.
Oh, okay. So this was after
them running around
with
the
your friends,
with the friends, running around to all the clubs.
That was the crew you moved out with at 15.
Yeah.
So it was just take me to that mindset. Where it was just like time for a change, or was it love? Did Cupid hit you? Take me back to that time. How was it? What year was it? This was the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Had to get a little more serious or something.
She was probably like one of those girls that just like lured you in, just you couldn't resist, you know? And because she was so like open and accepting to like being able to talk with her and hang out with her and stuff, it just kind of kept clicking day after day, and then we were dating.
So it wasn't like you were really much, you were just kind of going with the flow, you saying?
Yeah, always. You got to just kind of go with the flow and get them to know you're good, you're comfortable, they're comfortable with you, and then boom.
Right.
It
just kind of happened like that.
Yeah, if it's meant to, it's meant to.
Right, y'all both naturally kind of felt that safe vibe.
Yeah.
And you didn't rush it, and it kind of took some time.
It just grew and developed and bloomed.
Okay, that's what's up. And so you do that, you go out to Florida. So you leave friends, you leave home. This is your first time you move out of home?
Yeah, well, I got a really good job that was based down in Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay,
so it would make sense to go down there for for the work.
Right.
And she just came with me, and she was like, we're going to make this happen. And I was like, let's do it. And,
How old were you? Do you remember?
This was in 2000, so right at Y2K, right after 99.
Where they said the world was going to end and all that stuff.
Yeah, and then we had 9/11 the next year.
I remember that time. I remember that time.
So it was wild.
Yeah. So what was that mindset? Do you remember the mindset going into making that move by yourself? Because now you're moving by yourself, right?
Yeah.
So do you remember that mindset? Was it kind of pressure? Were you scared? Or is it just like, I'm going to wing it?
I'm always one who wings it, man. I go with the flow. I ride
the wing it generation.
The chaos. Everything, nothing really bugs me. I just fly with it.
Right. Yeah. We look at, nowadays, and a lot of the kids that coming out now, they compare their lives and everything that's going on with other people, because you can see everybody's lives on social media, and it kind of like, you can see how somebody might be a little discouraged or things like that. But back then it was like I'm player one in my own reality.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's
you
like
make what you want. Back then.
It's not like what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
So
you
kind of
just worry about it. You kind of just roll with the punches. You're just like, okay, it's gonna get rough from time to time, but it ain't gonna be that bad. You know? And if you just stay at it, it just kind of comes.
So how did you get the cable job? Do you remember?
It was somebody who was a friend of mine that had another connection. He was just like, hey, you know, you're good with your hands, you're smart, you could probably do this stuff. And he gave me the contact of the guy. I gave him my resume, contacted him.
Right.
You know, pretty much he's like, yeah, you could probably work out. Let's give you a shot.
Right.
And that was when we were upgrading the internet onto the cable TV, because cable TV just used to be cable TV.
Right. You say this was 2000, right?
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
The
we're
99
the ones who went through and like updated and upgraded everything for the internet to come through your cable TV.
I remember that.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting position right there.
I was making a lot of money because of that.
Listen, I remember that 99, 2000, we had cable to where it's like you press the channel with the remote and see what you get.
Yeah, but you didn't have your internet through it.
Yeah,
you had that through your phone line still.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I remember 99 or 2000, Dish Network came out.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I remember Guide.
Yeah.
Remember that where you could
guide through.
Yeah, where you could flip through and find something.
Yeah,
you don't just have to stay what they give you. It's like you can choose
and
now.
Then once we added that a whole system to where you could add your internet through your cable, and that coaxial could just plug right into your router and you have internet. You know?
Right.
It made it much quicker.
Yeah. So back then, did you kind of knew you were doing that, or did you kind of knew you were helping bringing in the new wave, or you was just working?
I was just working as far as I knew. I mean, they showed me what I needed to know. They taught me how to like adjust the wave files through everything where it could like get clear signals.
Right.
You know, making sure people had all the service that they were getting promised.
Right.
And that's all I was doing was quality control, making sure everything was properly functioning. And I didn't really. I mean, I knew it was for the internet. I just didn't realize what it was going to grow into.
Right.
And I didn't think it was going to be that big. I was like, you know, it's just another line for these signals to come through.
Yeah, we couldn't really see. We didn't know Microsoft was going to,
blow the hell up. Like that.
You know what I'm saying?
Take over all of everything.
Yeah, you know, and so.
Like, we still had Linux computers and Commodores and stuff like that. Like, it was not only Windows.
Yeah. We still had to pull out Uno and spades and actually enjoy each other's company.
Board games and stuff,
Yeah.
I mean, if you wanted to get a program from your computer, you had to like C prompt it into your ROM drive. You don't know, none of these people know that anymore.
Yeah. And even it's kind of even moved on from that, right? Or no, you're saying I think I'm getting what you're saying. You're saying you did the internet. It wasn't even dial-up. Was it dial-up?
We had dial-up first,
Okay.
But then when I was doing the cable systems, that's when we were making the auto connections through the cable, through the cable TVs, where you didn't have to do the dial-up like you did with the phone.
Oh, okay.
That's where you could just constantly have your signal running into your house.
Right,
Into a router.
So it didn't go...
Yeah, you didn't have to worry about that no more. That was what we upgraded the whole system to get away from that noise.
Okay, so that was kind of like a step up from that was when it was stepping up from dial-up.
Yeah,
that's when it kind of went into like the mid 2000s.
Yeah,
when MySpace
came. We started it in the early 2000s, and by the mid 2000s, the dial-up was gone.
Yeah, exactly. I remember that.
We upgraded the whole country.
Right.
And back then, I was having to travel.
Oh, that was a big company. What was it?
Yeah, it was Media One back then.
Media what?
Media One.
Media Warrant.
Like
Media One.
Yeah.
Okay, man.
Yeah.
So y'all had to. Did you have to travel and go to the sites?
I had to go to a lot of different cities. I've been everywhere from like Philly out to Salt Lake City, down in the Valley of Texas, up into like Idaho, up at the very top, right next to Canada.
Let me ask you, what did y'all have? Like a van, a work van?
Yeah, I ended up with I had to get a boom truck to where I could get up onto the poles and get into the systems,
it extends out.
Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of hotel living.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
For those few years that I was doing that, it was a lot of hotel, a lot of travel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's actually why I ended up being like, all right, I'm done. We were also getting close to being done with the whole upgrade of everything anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of like the company went and came, sword, and conquered.
Yeah, it was just like a
planted
big old
flag.
wave. Yeah, it's like a big old tidal wave came through. We got everything we needed done. We got our money off of it, and it was packaged,
so that's
wrapped up, and we were done. We're gone.
That's why I paid so nice.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So tell me about that time, and then we're going to get into the welding. Tell me about that time. This is fun. I like this one. This is going to be a real good one. Tell me about that time. What was like traveling on that road? What was something that stuck out to where it was kind of like
Well, my favorite thing is like this. I get to meet people and chat with them.
Right.
You know, and there are so many different people out there, and it's so
many
great
different
to
stories.
meet everybody.
Yeah.
You
Tell me
never
about
know what
Tell me about
story you can write.
Okay. Give me one. The best time. What was the best place you went? That wasn't really. Give me. Well, I like this one. This is a 2 question.
Yeah.
What was the best one that you went to where it was like a city that wasn't really that known, and you had like the best time, like maybe a Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, or something, Tifton, Alabama. You know, one of those places, Gainesville. You know what I'm saying? It's not a big city, but it was nice.
Yeah. I mean, I really actually did like the valley there in Texas. I can't remember the name of the city, but it was right there on the Mexican border. They had such good food. Everybody there was so polite and friendly.
Christi Corpus.
It was it's
El Paso.
I think it was below El Paso. It was like right on the border, right down there in that valley, right by like right below below 10, below Corpus Christi and all that.
Okay.
You know, kind of on the Gulf side.
Okay, on the Gulf side.
Yeah.
Okay.
And those people, everybody down there was so nice. Everybody was so friendly. You could talk to anybody. I mean, people just sitting out on their porch, and they're looking for a conversation. You know, they'll chat with you. You know, they had food that was just amazing. Of course, I love it. Spicy hot food, Mexican food.
So was that the best memory you say you had?
I had a lot of good ones because I met a lot of good people all over the place and got to see places that I would have never seen otherwise.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause on weekends when I wasn't working, I would be like, okay, I'm gonna go see your like tourist sites, you know, your hiking trails or your, you know, parks and stuff, you know.
Okay.
So I got to go see all sorts of places. Like I went to the Grand Canyon back then because I was just nearby.
Right.
You know?
Right. Okay, hold on, let's pause. So, let me ask you, do you remember anyone from back in that time? Did you keep in touch with anyone, or is it all a blur?
It's pretty blurry.
That was like 20 years ago, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure I still have a few people from there that I keep in touch with from time to time, you know, but they're, it's blur, and we've all gone so many ways and so many places.
Let me ask you, give me anything where it was like a scary moment, or maybe like a tense moment, or someplace you've been and it was like, oh man, this city right here, I'm glad we got the fuck out of there.
I got you. Yeah.
Or maybe it was a work thing.
No, everybody will get this.
Okay.
Right. I was in Philly.
Oh man.
All right. I'm running through a neighborhood, upgrading the system.
Yeah.
And they told me, like, if I'm going into Philly, and this is before I went up there, they told me, get yourself a gun, don't go into Philly unarmed. And I'm like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I never carry a gun. I never carry a weapon.
We're doing fucking cable,
I'm
man.
doing cable. I don't even worry about that shit, you know? And the first night I was there, our trucks got broken into, all our equipment gone, and by the morning. But that wasn't a big deal. We had insurance, everything was covered. Within a day or two, we had most of everything we needed to get back to work.
Right.
I go into this neighborhood after we get all our stuff back and go into there to do some work. I'm up on a pole, and this guy comes out of his house, and he thinks I'm like setting up some kind of surveillance system on his house, and he's looking very, very worried and paranoid.
Wow.
And
so when you do the cable, it was like for like a whole building or a whole block?
I would do like whole nodes. What they mean like is like, it's basically like you're servicing a whole neighborhood. There's going to be like different sections that I have to go through and make corrections and little adjustments to the signals and stuff like that. So sometimes it's directly in front of people's homes. And it's just up on the pole.
And y'all are the first company doing this.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm trying to give him his internet so he can have internet through his cable package. Yeah. And he thinks I'm setting up some kind of surveillance stuff. He starts pulling his gun out, pointing it at me, telling me, don't be putting no cameras up there, you know, telling me like I'm like working for the feds and stuff.
Wow.
Like I said, he was super paranoid.
He was not safe. He was doing something. Yeah. He had all the bricks.
And I'm like, you know, at that point, I'm like, all right, fine. I'm going to leave your system alone. I think I had pretty much already gotten it anyway. So
you like, look, man, I'm out here. Look, I'm trying to party later. I might want to get a couple grams from you.
I'm like, dude, I'll meet you at the bar later. We'll buy you a fucking shot or two, you know? Ain't nothing here. I'm just making your TV better, you know? And
so you couldn't finish the job? What happened?
Well, I did kind of. I think it was like close enough to where I never heard a call back for it, so I just left it as is. But I was still in that same neighborhood. Yeah. Go down into a cul-de-sac, And then this is like early 2000s, and like these 3 guys, like probably close to my age at that time, around 20s, 28 or so.
Yeah.
And they look like they're ready to come over and start taking everything out of my truck while I'm up on a pole.
Right.
And at that point, I'm like, okay, now I see what they're saying. I needed a gun, like.
Yeah.
But I ended up pulling up one of my like screwdrivers that kind of looked pseudo like a gun. It was like all black and stuff, and I'm like, you guys need to back off away from my truck.
Yeah.
They were like, no, we're gonna take everything you got down here while you were up there. And
so they were
like,
really plotting about it.
Yeah, they didn't have any qualms about it either. They were like, yeah, we're just gonna take whatever we can before you get down. And I'm like,
oh wow,
what can I do now?
That's crazy. And then that's what's wild. The company said that's the company that told you to take a gun.
Yeah.
It's like damn
They knew.
Media
like,
One.
Yeah, whatever.
It's like damn Media One. It's like what the fuck? And like I didn't know I was putting my life on for the cable.
I knew I was going into neighborhoods, but I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna be doing my work.
It's like Media One is planting their flag around the country, and you might run into opposition or some shit.
But
damn.
Like, we knew we were gonna send you in a like sketchy neighborhood, and I'm like,
wow.
I mean, I didn't care, but it was like, okay, but I didn't think I actually had to have a gun.
That's crazy. So that first encounter, you stopped the job right there and you didn't go back.
No, I never went back.
Yeah. I was like, he had a big foot. Yeah, he didn't just pull it out. He upped it on you.
Yeah, he pointed it up at me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he did not hesitate. He's like, you never need to stop putting that camera up there. And I'm like, oh, no. This ain't cool. This ain't a camera, man.
He's like, hey, man, be cool. Yeah, be cool. You know what?
That is probably the scariest.
It's okay if you don't. Whatever I have to offer here, it's all right if you don't want it. I'll leave.
Exactly. That's how it rolls. I just was like, all right, man, I'm good. I'm done. I'm out of here.
Okay.
I came down, and boom, I was gone.
any situations like driving wise on the road out there? Nah, smooth driving and everything. Okay, so let's get to the deep parts, man. The deep questions. The love life back home. Did you leave it? This was in Florida, so your home base was in Florida.
Well,
how did that affect?
Yeah.
How did that affect your girlfriend back home?
Oh, she was loving it.
Oh wow, really?
I was making a lot of money.
Okay.
And she was just at home doing working part-time at a Target.
Right.
So she had all my money and all the time in the world. We were living on the beach there and
Jacksonville Beach.
Yeah. So she just was enjoying herself and I'm like, that kind of sucks. I'm out here working my ass off. You gotta stick back home and spend my money.
How often did you go home?
About once a month.
Once a month.
Yeah,
I know how that
like
is.
A weekend.
I know how that
see
is.
them for like 2-3 days and then back on the road.
Oh, that's
So
it
was rough, But.
Yeah, that's a tense situation.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, how and if you don't want to indulge, you don't have to. But we're gonna get a little introspective. How did that affect y'all's long distance relationship?
I mean, we were really close and comfortable with each other. We didn't seem to have too much problems with it. And even occasionally, she would come and visit where I was working.
Oh, I would think so.
Like, my time getting back home was limited, but she had more free time, so she was able to come up and see me where I was.
Oh.
And of course, then, like I said, we would go to places that we wanted to see that was close by.
Right, so it's like, hey, I'm going to be here, so-and-so.
Yeah.
You can come here and meet me there.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it was, because I was doing good enough on the money and for the job, it was easy enough to get tickets for her.
Okay,
to get her flyer up to wherever I was at the time.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So did you that was like 20 years ago. Are you still with that girl?
Oh no.
Did y'all have any kids or anything?
No.
Man, what happened? How did that end off? If you want to divulge, or whatever you can say on it.
Yeah, I mean, in essence, when we got back here to Georgia, which is another story, like I said, I finished up with the cable stuff, and I was like, let's go back to Atlanta.
Okay, that was the mindset.
From. Yeah,
okay.
It's my home.
It was like, it's nothing else here.
Yeah.
I'm taking my earnings.
I'm going home.
You went out, you did a job, and you was like, okay,
so I
now
came
it's
back
time.
up here, and we bought a house. I bought a house up here, up like north DeKalb.
Okay.
Yeah, and so then we moved into the new house and stuff, and that was going good. I ended up working at a factory, Southern Wall Products in Tucker.
Okay.
And that's where I learned how to weld, and I was doing repairs for a lot of stuff. So I was maintenance basically.
Okay.
But they taught me how to weld there and everything, and that was helping me pay for my house as well.
Yeah. So that was like welding school kind of, or
no,
it was just,
no, it was just an on-the-job training. Like
okay.
They needed me to learn how to weld because we were working on building a new factory line for the sheetrock mud.
Okay.
Because they make that Ruco sheetrock mud, if you're familiar with those buckets and stuff you see when people's come to sheetrock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did y'all end off? It just
Well, we were living in my place that I had just bought us, and she decided, she was like, I'm gonna go to school. And I'm like, okay, cool, you know, you've been working and saving some money. I got plenty of money.
Yeah.
I'm working and making plenty. Sure, go to school, and then when you get done, because she wanted to do like zoology, microbiology, stuff like that. She was very much into biology and animals. So she was kind of leaning on those lines in her schooling.
Right.
And that was going fine for like the first year or so, but then I moved over from a day shift to the night shift, and then back over to a second shift. They kind of moved me around a bit and had me on call and stuff. And at that time, I had also gotten back with some of my old friends, you know, I was only gone for a couple of years down in Florida, but came back, so everybody was still around for the most part.
So you could say your timelines just kind of naturally separated?
No, she started kind of like fooling around with one of my friends behind my back, because I was so busy
that's
and so
the story.
gone.
Okay.
And I was just like, I ain't dealing with none of y'all. Fuck y'all both. I'm move out of my house.
Okay, your friend moved in your house?
No, she had moved in with me. I told her she needed to move out when I found out they were fucking around.
What was her explanation? Like, how did you find that out?
I found it out from other friends. You know, the other friends gave me clues, and then I saw the clues they gave me, and I was like, kind of following that, and then I saw, she was doing that.
This was one of the original crew from the 15-year-old?
One of my original, one of my original friends. Yeah, they had been getting using my cards, my credit cards and stuff, getting hotels, getting concert tickets, going to concerts without me and stuff.
That's
they were
like
doing a lot of stuff without me, with my money.
And you know what it is? I think it's sometimes it's like when you have a friend that's been with you so close that long, they might feel like what's yours is theirs.
Yeah, and he was like that. He was kind of like, if he has it, I want it. But back in the day, it was no big deal. Like, I go get some weed. I share some weed with you.
Right, but it's like we're 30 now.
We go into a concert. I'll get you a ticket from time to time. But we had grown up. We're like in our 30s now, and it's like a completely different story. He never grew up.
Okay.
And I don't think she really. I don't know. She just turned flaky on me.
Just got manipulated.
You
know.
Okay. So, and I just didn't want to deal with it, so I'm like, everybody get the hell away from me.
Right. Like, listen, for my mental space, my mental peace. This is a betrayal. So we don't have to be in each other's lives.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I hadn't talked to either of them since, so it kept me sane.
Exactly.
And I didn't do anything to anybody, so everybody walked away happy.
Yeah, because that is a triple cross, and it's like, listen, we growing, and as you grow older, things like that happen to where it's like you become more into who you are,
and it's not worth doing anything about except walking away. You can go and do your thing and start afresh.
Right. So did y'all ever have any kids or anything?
No.
Okay.
I've been my whole life no kids.
Okay. You're just doing your thing in Midtown, riding around. Okay, that's what's up. So, you start doing the welding. So how was that mindset where it's just like, did you just start kind of like picking up pointers?
I was working, like I said, was working with a company. We were doing factory stuff, and they had me on maintenance, making all the machines stay working. Okay. They were planning on building a new factory floor line, and they needed us to be able to weld because we had to build structures to help support the piping and all the other components to make everything go and flow into these mixers.
So what did you initially do when you went into that factory?
Initially, it went wild. So like my first thing, I went in there as a forklift operator.
Oh, okay.
That's what I went and applied for. And when I applied for it, they're like, no, you're way too more qualified than that. They're like, you have skill sets and knowledges on your technical.
You done went around the country putting up stuff.
So they're like, okay, with your technical background and everything, we're going to at least put you at machine operated. They put me at controlling the robots because we actually had robots back then for doing simple tasks,
right?
You know, like packaging and stuff like that. And I was programming them, making sure, maintaining them, making they work. And then they moved me from that after about a month and a half. They're like, oh, we need more managers. Will you be a manager? Right. So they gave me a whole shift and managed me, like let me manage.
To oversee,
that's what
like
I said. I kept changing my schedule around all the time.
So you had to oversee other people that were overseeing the machines.
I had like 40 people that were underneath me
to oversee the machines and stuff like that.
They were doing all these other tasks, and I was just making sure everybody was going fine. And
how did that go as a manager? Did you get into it with any employees? Did you have to fire anybody?
No, I was great. They were great. I mean, I'm one of those people, like, if you know, I don't like bosses. Yeah. Bosses are like dictators. Yeah. You know, screw that. I'm a leader. Right. I will get down in the dirt with you. I will work with you. I will show you. I will help you. And make sure we're all on the same page and we're all doing it right.
Be down in the gutter. Yeah. So you kind of you can see both sides.
Yeah. And I'm not going to sit there and boss somebody around and be like, I asked for help. You know, and if you're willing to help me, then hey, we're doing good.
Look, we can go in this. I'm not trying to give you any demands, but we can go in this direction.
Yeah, and we're gonna all be happy and good.
Yeah. Okay.
So I learned how to be a good leader, not a boss. You know.
Okay.
So my management went great, and that's when they had me on third shift, the night shift. Yeah. And because nothing was like really going wrong with the team, when things broke down, I had them backing me up. Right. So like I would just sit down, I'd start fixing stuff, they'd be getting me tools, helping me fix stuff. And so we never called maintenance on third shift. That's when they realized, oh, we need to move you over into maintenance, Chris. You know what you're doing. Right. You can fix everything here.
Right, okay.
So that's when they moved me over to maintenance to take me out of management. And they kept giving me more and more money each step, too.
Yeah. Because that maintenance, the maintenance on the machine, that's a big task. Yeah, you got to have that running.
Yeah, and this was all within 1 year. Like by the time the year was up, I was already in maintenance, learning how to weld, doing all the pneumatics, that air pressure controls, the electronics of everything, really getting into like how everything functions and works, and learning how to repair it.
Right. So take me to that mindset. You starting to do your welding, right? Yeah. So you had to have the helmet.
Oh yeah,
and
I had to drop the big helmet down.
What do you call the blowtorch? The torch. You had the torch.
You have oxyacetylene torches, plasma torches. They're going to cut the metals.
Right.
The arc welders and stick welders and TIG welders are what you weld the metals with, and I had to learn all those.
To weld them together, right? So was that what you was doing? What did you start doing?
Well, we definitely had to start with me learning how to weld. They started me on the stick welder. Okay. That's the rod that comes off of an electrode, and you actually have to like strike the metal to get it started. And then soon after that, they put me on learning the MIG, which was a lot easier. That's the one with the gun. You just pull the trigger and it feeds the metal out and welds at the same time.
Okay. And so all of that, what you was learning was what you had to do as the maintenance for the job you was at?
And when I also had to sit there and learn how to fabricate at that time, learning my measurements and how to cut the metals and get them to the right shapes, you know, figuring geometry for joining up angles and stuff like that.
Oh, so you was like, geometry classes. You was like, geometry classes coming in handy.
Y'all love geometry. Geometry's great. It gets you through so much, and you don't even realize it. You know,
you was like,
especially once you learn like fractions and decimals, like all of those things will add up, and especially in my line of work, it's a daily use.
Okay, so you was like, this is where all that stuff is coming in handy.
Like being able to fabricate and shape metal and make it into what it needs to be, anything from guardrails to furniture to like structures like these buildings here, you know. I mean, like stuff like this out here, all these like fan blades and stuff that are off the side of the building. We make stuff like that.
It's like you see it all the time.
Yeah, I see it all the time. I like, you know, I'll tell you guys, Pond City Market, you need to get that spiral staircase fixed. Those welds are cold. They will snap under pressure.
Hey man, but we gonna get into it because maybe if you see things like that,
I do all the time.
You might, you know what I'm saying? You might get your own crew together, get your own contract or something. You know what I'm saying? So doing that on the machines, that's you basically had to put pieces on the machines and when things would break off or just add on to the machines. If something would
break, I could fix it. What we were really doing was adding on. So we were making like stands to hold hoppers, to hold the materials for making sheetrock. We were making stands to help hold the pipelines as things ran through.
So as the company grew, y'all just kept adding on things.
Yeah.
How long were you there?
I was there for about a good 6 years or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
You listen, when the money good, I ain't moving on.
No.
If the money okay, I'm all right.
Yeah, and the work was good. It was a little different, every day. I mean, there's routine stuff there.
Yeah.
That's when, I finally left that company. I started doing this more on my own. Pseudo started doing like freelance welding and stuff.
Yeah.
But then also working with actual welding companies and fabrication companies.
So you did kind of both. You kind of did your own independent thing on the side and how did you find those jobs?
Pretty easy. Like online, you just do like the neighborhood apps and stuff like that. People that are local that are looking for help.
What, like Craigslist or something? Like
there was Craigslist, neighborhood, next door, stuff like that. Yeah.
Where you can hey,
you
look,
just put up there. Hey, I'm doing welding.
I'm a welder. Okay.
I can do handrails. I can do gates.
So neighborhood, and what was the other one?
Next door.
That's kind of like where. If you got any kind of handyman services, you can put it up on there.
And some people see it and they'll be like, oh yeah, I could use that. I've done things like, people like those planter boxes where it's just wrought iron, big, huge, blocks, and they want to see it rust over time. They like that look, built those things, guardrails, handrails, for staircases and stuff like that.
Okay, so do you still do your own thing on the side every now and then? Or?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've done sculptures as well, like up in Nashville and Knoxville and a handful of other places here in the Southeast.
Yeah.
I've done a handful of sculptures from like dragons to Spartan warriors and
just little stuff that people want individually done.
Yeah. Like the Nashville Children's Theater.
Yeah.
You go to the Nashville Children's Theater, there's a big dragon about 30 foot tall in front of that building with a mask on for the theater for the kids.
Right.
I was one of the people that put that together.
Was that with a welding company?
No, that was with me and a friend. She was a blacksmith. She's the one who I learned how to blacksmith from. I've been doing a lot of metal work, so I've been hands-on everything from the toolers to blacksmithing to actual welding and fabrication.
And so did you find that on next door in a neighborhood?
No, she was actually a roller derby friend. I did roller derby for a few years.
Oh, okay.
I got into some other sports.
Yeah, okay. And she was like, hey, I got this job. I need some help on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's when I started doing some sculptures and blacksmithing. Yeah. We did more artistic stuff. That's when I started doing things like the wine cellar doors for people with like the grapevines and the leaves, the nice, beautiful scrolled metal. Yeah.
You well traveled, Chris. You well traveled. So let's take that into now. What kind of work are you doing now with the welding?
Right now, I'm just down the street doing some kind of basic fabrications. We do a lot of flashing. I do a lot of stuff for MARTA. MARTA's one of my clients.
How do you do that? So is that with a welding company or?
Yeah, it's with a welding company.
Okay, and they got a relationship with MARTA.
Yeah, and we got contracts with MARTA. We got contracts with the zoo. The aquarium, a couple different places around town we got contracts for. We do work as they need it.
As they need it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
you some of the zoo animals, like we just did the things for the pandas. They made these cooling trays that have insulation and stuff, and they can cool them, and they go on the floor so the pandas can lay on them and stay cool.
Right.
Like for MARTA, I just helped them do a lot of their extra, how as the train's coming in, you see the sign of the station right up along the side, and it's really a piece of metal wrapped around with brackets on the back holding it up.
Okay.
And they put a sticker on it saying, Art Center.
Okay.
And those metal brackets and stuff like that. All those ones you see on the lampposts, I make all those for MARTA.
Do you ever get on the tracks?
I don't do installs. I just make the stuff, give it to them. They have crews that install it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's already come ready, shipped.
Yeah.
Then ready to install. When y'all do the basically.
We put everything together, foundation. Get them ready for them, and then they put them all in the way they want it.
That's what's up, man.
All those signs on the street posts that hold the MARTA signs where the bus stops are and shit. I made all those.
That's what's up, man. So what do you do on your leisure? Do you do any traveling? Do you go anywhere or?
Not too much. I mean, I go all over here in Atlanta. I go everywhere from East Atlanta Village, all over West Side.
Be on the belt line.
North, the belt line, yeah.
You're like, this is home.
Yeah, this is. I don't need much. There's everything here.
Everything is home.
Don't have to go that far.
People come here.
Yeah, exactly. The world's coming here.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Oh, did you do any work with the World Cup and things like that?
Yeah, I did a couple things for the Congress Center and the stadium, just so they could be prepped and ready. You know, they had us making like a couple like floor guards for like when they run cables. Yeah. They got those step overs and stuff. Simple stuff.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
It's nice to know that. Yeah, my stuff's being used everywhere.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so 2 more questions, man. Yeah. 2 more questions. This was a good one, man. This was my longest interview, yo. Khris was like, I got the stories.
Oh yeah, I keep going.
It sounds like a movie, man. the motherfucking Media One movie.
Yeah.
The motherfuckers that went across the country. The ones that went across the country and did the updated internet version in people's homes.
Yeah, we were like a wave of internet through the country.
They had to go to the hood, almost got shot.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on out here? So, 2 more questions, man. So, I like to ask this question to everybody. I'm interested in hearing the answer to this question. So, what's your current fight right now? What's something that you can think of that's like your current fight right now that you're trying to master, or anything that you're trying to, establish with yourself right now? Like it's like, I'm trying to get to this next threshold. I can learn this, or just anything. It could be anything.
Well, I think I'm trying to push myself to be more. I would like to see more community here. So I'm trying to push myself to be more of somebody who could be like a community leader. I'm starting small. I'm starting here at my apartment building, trying to build my community here, and then hopefully I can get myself to keep branching out. I'm getting out of my comfort zone.
Right.
I'm trying to like be there with a lot of people, trying to help lead them.
Right.
Because I know what we need is we're going to need friends. We're going to need community.
Okay.
With the way everything is, if we don't have that, we're all in trouble.
And when you say, what comes to your mind when you say that? Like, just people finding things that they're helpful with, or?
Well, I mean, and other things that we might be able to help with that we're not aware we can help with. You know? Like, I have a handful of elderly people in my apartment building, and I think it would be good if, like, some of us that have bigger vehicles, like I have a truck, and I know a few others that have vans and stuff, that maybe we do like once a month or every 2-week grocery run, that we can do a mass grocery run, save on gas, help the people who can't get out as easily get their groceries without having to do, pay the extra month for like Kroger to deliver their groceries. Just little things like that. We've been doing more like get-together cookouts and stuff. I'm trying to like see if we can do like tool shares where people don't have to go out and buy a tool just because they've got an IKEA thing, or somebody else in the building might be able to come up and help them. So I'm trying to organize and straighten, like, kind of do some logistics and see what I can lay out for people.
What it's gonna it's gonna take those genuine conversations. I think it's starting to go back to that, because I think we're getting so burnt out with the internet.
Yeah, I do too.
And I was one like
person to person is what we need, and I think like that's all part of our community. Is like we got to know each other. We got to be close to each other. We got to be able to. Truly communicate.
I was fighting it. I'm like, yo, I'm on the internet popping it. You know what I'm saying? People gonna, they're gonna see it.
And there's good places with
it. And then till I noticed to where it's like everybody. It might be a point where everybody don't see everything that you might be doing just because you put it or you hit upload.
Yeah, exactly.
And so since I've been doing this, kind of like meeting people face to face with this genuine conversation.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's like I'm seeing it like that now.
Yeah.
It's like,
and I hope we all start really doing that, because it'll be better for everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Know your neighbors. Be friends with your neighbors.
Yeah.
You know?
Like I remember living in the suburbs, right? When I moved from out the country, and we started living in the suburbs. It's like the next house will be right there where that pole is at.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't know who they are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's so weird to me. Like, I love everybody in my building. Even if they don't really know me, I'm like, I know you.
Yeah, you in my space.
Yeah,
I
you're
see
gonna
you all
know
the
me.
time.
Yeah.
That's what's
Like,
up.
yeah.
That's what's up. And so, one more question, man.
Yeah.
I said I was gonna be nosy. So, what you doing right now, man? Where you going at? You walking, and you got your Whole Foods bag. My man done made it good in life to where Khris shops at Whole Foods, ladies and
Not
gentlemen.
that I want to, but it's actually at convenience in my hunger. At least for tonight.
That's what's up. So what you got going on? What you up to?
Tonight I was prepping for my D&D game with my friends tomorrow.
What's that? What's D&D?
Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Role-playing game.
Oh my God, that sounds fucking interesting.
Yeah.
What is that, man?
So it's,
you say Dungeons and Dragons, the role play game.
Okay.
What are y'all doing, Khris? We need to know.
High fantasy.
We nosy.
It's like wizards and warriors, you know.
Yeah.
You have a character, you pretend you're that character in a world where somebody's giving you like the layouts of what that world, they're your senses, you know, they're telling you what's happening. And then you have your character and you're interacting with this imaginary world.
So it's like y'all do this around like the area around here?
Well, no, it's a tabletop. It's a pencil and paper, dice rolling to see how things turn out.
Okay.
It's a bit of like a board game with a high imagination level.
Kind of role playing with it.
Yeah.
Okay, man, that sounds like some fire shit.
Yeah.
It's
and
like
then you got your wizards, you got your warlocks, you got your warriors.
Yeah.
So you can sling your battle axes, cast your spells, whatever, you know.
Man, you know how to have a good time, man. You like, listen, we work it, we get money and stuff like that, but we gonna find a way to what's our interest, what's interesting to us.
Relate.
So is that like a
have fun?
Yeah. So is that like a TV show or something? Dungeons and Dragons?
Well,
is that like a
made
movie?
movies and stuff like that. I mean, D&D's been around since the 70s.
Okay.
It's a long running game.
Okay.
It's been going on.
So it's kind of like Marvel before Marvel.
Yeah.
If you know it, you know it. Kind of like if you into Star Wars, you're into Star
if you're
Wars.
into role playing, you know D&D.
Yeah. Okay.
If you're into fantasy, you know, like elves and hobbits and fairies and dragons and unicorns, all that stuff. It's all within the same
You into
line.
D&D.
Yeah.
You got Lord of
You're in that same genre.
Yeah, you got Lord of the Rings and you got D&D.
Same genre.
Okay.
Yep.
So if you know, you know.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, and it's fun. It's a good, it's good for a easy, laid back Sunday.
That's what's up, man.
Don't want to do much. Sit back with your friends, play a board game.
Yeah.
That's basically what we'll be doing.
That's what's up. So, you're doing the welding. Do you have anything you want to plug for your services, or do you have a social media you want to plug or anything?
Not really. I actually am not on social media. I haven't been on social media in probably about 15 years.
My man said do you go down to the Comic-Con and the Dragon Con when they come to town?
I got my Dragon Con ticket already.
Ah, that's fire.
I live right here, so it's like a straight walk.
When's
down
the next
there.
one coming? When is the
it's
next?
August, at the end of August.
End of August.
Yeah.
I went to that last.
Labor Day.
I went to the last one.
Yeah.
It was a rave party.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's the last. I don't do coke no more, but I did a bump at the rave.
Yeah.
You got to do a bump at the rave, man. You got. Come on, man.
You can't deny it. You got to keep yourself moving, dancing.
That's what's up, my man, Khris.
Yeah.
You was a good sport. I appreciate you, man. Hey, if you ain't gonna give your Instagram out, hopefully you got a Facebook or something I could get. I want to come to the D&D, man. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear the stories. I want to hang out.
On the side, I'll give you my number. You guys, you can hit me up sometime.
All right, for sure,
We can start with another game going.
All right, for sure. That's what's up. This was a good one. Appreciate you, Khris.
Yeah, appreciate you.
All right.